Mack the Dinosaur and the Weather Adventure. Mack was a friendly green dinosaur with big feet, a curious mind, and a bright orange backpack. He lived in Dino Valley, a place where the weather was always surprising. One morning, Mack woke up and decided, "Today, I'm going to explore all the different types of weather I can find." Sunny day in Sunshine Hills first. Mack stomped off to Sunshine Hills. The sky was bright blue and the sun shined warm on his scales. "This is perfect weather for a picnic," Mack cheered. He laid out his blanket, munched on leafy sandwiches, and listened to birds chirping in the trees. But soon, he noticed fluffy clouds in the sky. Rainy afternoon, in rainy river drip, drop, drip, drop. As Mack reached Rainy River, the clouds opened up and it began to rain. Mack giggled. "Good thing I packed my yellow raincoat." He jumped in puddles, splashed around, and waved at a family of frogs enjoying the drizzle. "Rain makes everything so green and fresh," he said. Snowy peaks of Frosty Mountain next. Mack climbed Frosty Mountain. The higher he went, the colder it got until snowflakes swirled all around. "Brr! Time for my woolly scarf," Mack said, pulling it tight. He built a snow dino, slid down a hill on his tail, and caught snowflakes on his tongue. The world looked like it had been sprinkled with sugar. Windy fields of whistling plains. On his way home, Mack passed through the whistling plains where the wind whooshed and whirled. "Whoa!" Mack laughed as his hat flew off. He chased it across the grass, dodging tumbling leaves and spinning dandelions. It's like the wind wants to play tag. A surprise ending. As Mack arrived back in Dino Valley, the rain stopped and the sun peeked out again. A beautiful rainbow stretched across the sky. Mack smiled wide. "I saw sunshine, rain, snow, and wind all in one day. What a weatherful adventure." And from that day on, Mack became known as Mack the Weather Explorer, always ready for rain, shine, snow, or wind, with a smile and a backpack full of fun. The end. Mack the Dinosaur rocks, the stage 1. Sunny afternoon in the middle of Meowville. A strange but exciting announcement echoed through the town square. Mack the Dinosaur is coming to play Rock Guider. The cats of Meowville went wild. Kittens purred with excitement, tabbies tapped their tails, and the Mayora, a fluffy Maine Coon named Sir Whisker, ordered a giant stage to be built in the middle of the park. When showtime came, the crowd stretched all the way back to the fish market. There were cats in sunglasses, cats in bandanas, and even a few wearing glow-in-the-dark collars. Suddenly, boom! A puff of purple smoke exploded on stage, and out walked Mack the Dinosaur in a leather jacket and red sneakers, carrying a sparkly electric guitar. "Are you ready to rock?" Mack roared. "Meow," the crowd answered. Mack strummed the first note, and zap! Sparks flew from his guitar. He stomped his dinosaur feet in rhythm, and the whole stage shook. The cats leaped and danced, doing flips, spins, and even a synchronized tail wave. Mack played rock and roll songs like Jurassic Jam, Tail Whip Twist, and Meow Meow Melody. During his final song, Dino Roar Encore, the cats held up glow sticks and swayed like fuzzy waves in the sea. After the concert, Mack took a giant bow. Sir Whiskers gave him a golden fish trophy. "Thank you, Meowville," Mack smiled. "You cats rock." And from that day on, Mack the Dinosaur became the official rock star of Meowville, always welcome, always loud, and always loved. Mack the Dinosaur and the Lion on a Leash one sunny morning in Dino Valley. Mack the Dinosaur was feeling full of energy. He stretched his long tail, gave a big yawn, and turned to his best friend, a fluffy, golden lion named Leo. "Ready for our walk, Leo?" Mack said, grabbing the red leash. Leo gave a happy roar and wagged his tail like a puppy. Together, the unlikely pair set off into the forest. Birds chirped above, butterflies danced in the air, and little chipmunks peeked out from behind trees to get a look at Mack and his lion friend. "Hello, forest," Mack called, stomping happily down the path. Leo pranced beside him, his mane bouncing with every step. Along the way, they met a group of raccoons playing hide-and-seek. "Want to play with us?" asked a raccoon. "We're just walking today," Mack said with a smile. "But maybe tomorrow." Next, they crossed a sparkling creek. Leo stopped to lap up some cool water, while Mack watched a frog leap from lily pad to lily pad. Then they heard a rustle in the bushes. Out popped a group of curious deer. They giggled when they saw Leo on his leash. "We've never seen a lion on a walk before," said one. "He's not just any lion," Mack said proudly. "He's my best buddy." As the sun started to set, Mack and Leo made their way back home. The forest glowed with golden light, and everything felt peaceful. Back at their cave, Mack unclipped the leash and gave Leo a big hug. "That was the best walk ever," he said. Leo gave a happy roar in agreement, and as stars twinkled above, the dino and his lion curled up together, already dreaming of their next forest adventure. The end. Mack the dinosaur takes an ocean. Voyage 1. Sunny morning, Mack the friendly green dinosaur stood at the edge of a big, sparkling blue ocean. He had heard tales of faraway islands, playful dolphins, and giant whale sand today. He was ready for an adventure of his own. Mack put on his sailor hat, packed a lunch of dino snacks, and boarded a big white boat called the Sea Explorer. With a cheerful toot, toot, the boat set off, and Mack waved goodbye to the land. Out on the open water, the waves gently rocked the boat. Mack leaned over the railing and watched flying fish leap through the air. "Wow," he said, "the ocean is full of surprises." Soon, a pod of dolphins swam alongside the boat. They jumped and flipped, playing tag in the waves. Mack giggled and waved. "Hello, dolphin friends." Later, the boat passed by a floating island made of seaweed. A sleepy sea turtle was resting there. "Hi, Mack," the turtle yawned. "Enjoying the ocean?" "I sure am," Mack replied. "I've never seen so much water." Suddenly, the sky turned a little gray, and the waves grew taller. Rain sprinkled down, and the boat rocked back and forth. Mack held on tight. But then, just as quickly as it came, the storm passed. A bright rainbow arched across the sky, and a giant whale popped up from the deep blue sea with a splash. "Whoa," Mack cheered. "This is the best ocean voyage ever." As the sun began to set, the Sea Explorer pulled up to a tropical island with sandy beaches and palm trees. Mack stepped off the boat and stretched. He had seen so many amazing things, and he couldn't wait to explore this new island tomorrow. That night, under a sky full of stars, Mack snuggled into his hammock and whispered, "Thank you, ocean, for a wonderful day." And the waves whispered back, "Come again soon, Mack." The end. Mack the Dinosaur's Garden Feast. One sunny spring morning, Mack the dinosaur woke up with a big idea. "I want to grow my own food," he roared happily, stretching his arms and tail. Mack stomped outside with a little shovel, a watering can, and a bag of seeds. He picked a sunny spot and got to work. He dug and scooped and dug, making neat rows in the dirt. He planted tomato seeds, carrot seeds, and even some watermelon seeds. "Grow big and strong," Mack whispered to each one as he patted the soil gently. Every day, Mack watered his garden, pulled out weeds, and made sure the plants had plenty of sunshine. He sang songs to them and told them funny stories. The plants seemed to love it. After many days, little green sprouts popped up. Mack cheered and did a happy dinosaur dance. Soon the tomatoes turned red, the carrots peeked out of the ground, and big green watermelons sat in the sun, ready to be picked. Mack carefully gathered everything and carried it inside. That evening, he made a big salad with tomatoes and carrots, and for dessert just watermelon slices. Mack said with a full mouth. "This is the tastiest food ever." He smiled proudly and decided that every year, he'd plant a garden. Because when you grow it yourself, food tastes even better. The end. Mack the Dinosaur's Bad Dream. Mack the dinosaur was a happy little dino who loved to play, sing, and learn new things at kindergarten. He had a big tail, tiny arms, and the biggest smile in class. Every day was a new adventure. But one night, after brushing his teeth and getting all cozy in his bed, Mack had a bad dream. In his dream, the sky turned purple, the sun wore sunglasses and flew away, and all his toys started floating. His favorite stuffed lion, Leo, grew wings and zoomed around, saying, "You can't catch me, Mack." "Oh no," Mack cried out in the dream. "Come back, Leo." Then the floor turned into jelly, and Mack bounced up and down until thump. He fell into a giant bowl of broccoli soup. "Yucky!" Mack shouted, squirming. Just then, Mack woke up. He sat up in bed, his heart thumping like a drum. The room was quiet and still, with the soft moonlight shining through the window. His real Leo, his cuddly stuffed lion, was right next to him. "It was just a dream," Mack whispered. He tiptoed down the hall and found his mom in the kitchen getting a glass of water. "I had a bad dream," Mack said, rubbing his eyes. "Oh, sweetie," said Mom, scooping him up in a warm hug. "Bad dreams can feel real, but they're only in your head. You're safe now." She tucked Mack back into bed, kissed his forehead, and placed Leo right under his arm. "Think of your happy place," she said, "like when we go to the park, or when you dance in class." Mack closed his eyes and imagined sliding down the biggest rainbow, with Leo laughing beside him. The bad dream faded away, and soon Mack was fast asleep again, this time dreaming of bubblegum clouds and dancing dinosaurs. The end.
Mack and the Donut Disaster Dance Party. It all started when Mack the dinosaur opened a box labeled, "Do not open unless you love dancing." "Well," said Mack, "I do love dancing." He opened the box. Bounce, boing, zap! Suddenly dozens of sprinkle-covered donuts flew into the air, spinning, bouncing, and singing. "We're the dancing donuts, here to groove. Get on your feet, it's time to move." Frank the raccoon screamed, "The donuts are alive," and hid in a laundry basket. Abby the panda put on sunglasses and started breakdancing. Otto the elephant slipped on a frosted one and did an accidental triple spin. Archie the giraffe got stuck to the ceiling with a jelly-glazed donut on his head. Esther just calmly sipped tea. This seems normal. Then boink! A giant trampoline bounced out of nowhere. The donuts leapt on it and started forming a giant spinning donut tornado. Spin. Sugar storm begin. Mack shouted, "Quick, we need to calm the donuts." "How?" yelled Otto, flapping his trunk like a fan. Mack thought hard, then had a genius idea. He grabbed a kazoo and played a slow lullaby tune. The donuts yawned. One by one, they flopped gently to the ground, rolled into a pile, and fell asleep snoring sugary little Z's. Zzz. Mack tiptoed to the box and shut the lid. He slapped on a new label, "Only open if you have earplugs and backup pancakes." The friends all collapsed in giggles. "Let's never talk about this again," Frank whispered. "Until next donut day," Mack grinned. The end. Mack and the Great Math Picnic. It was a sunny day in Dino Valley, and Mack the dinosaur had an idea. "Let's have a picnic," he said, tail wiggling with joy. Everyone cheered. Esther the deer, Frank the raccoon, Abby the panda, Archie the giraffe, and Otto the elephant packed their favorite snacks. At the picnic blanket, Mack laid everything out and said, "Let's make sure we have enough for everyone." Abby counted the sandwiches. 1, 2, 3, 6 sandwiches. Archie blinked. "There are 6 of us, perfect. That's 1 each." Frank counted the juice boxes. "Only 4. "Oh no," said Otto. "How do we share 4 juices with 6 friends?" Mack thought hard, then smiled. "Let's split them, half for each friend." Otto carefully poured the juice into cups, and everyone got a fair share. Then Esther brought cookies. "There are 12. Abby clapped her paws. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 2 cookies each. Mack's eyes widened. "We're doing math, picnic math." They counted, added, divided, and even made up silly number rhymes. 2, Yawang, 2 equals 4. Now let's eat some more. At the end, Mack stood up and declared, "Math is tasty and fun." And all his friends agreed numbers are even better with snacks and smiles. The end. Mack, a young dinosaur, bursts through the forest, his every step a thunderous declaration of joy. His tail sweeps through the undergrowth, a force of nature unrestrained. In his exuberance, Mack remains blissfully unaware of the delicate world around him. His energy is infectious, each stomp echoing with youthful abandon. A small pile of rocks falls victim to his playful rampage, foreshadowing future mishaps. Mack continues his boisterous journey, the forest trembling beneath his feet. In the living room, Minta sits amid scattered blocks, tears marking her distress. Lucretia meticulously stacks blocks, her focus unwavering as she builds a tower. Mack's playful energy erupts as he zooms across the room, a race car driver in his imagination. His impetuousness leads to chaos as he crashes into Lucretia's tower, scattering blocks and sparking dismay. Mama Dinosaur kneels beside Mack, offering comfort and a gentle reminder. "Being big is special, Mack. You're strong and fast and wild, but being kind is just as powerful." Mack kneels beside Minta, his massive frame softened by a newfound gentleness as he helps her rebuild her tower of blocks. Mack offers, "Want me to hold the tower while you stack the top?" Lucretia beams at Mack's offer. Mack carefully holds the tower's base steady. At bedtime, Minta gives Mack a sleepy smile. Mack reflects, "Being nice feels even better than roaring."
Mack the dinosaur's first day of kindergarten. It was a sunny morning in Dino Valley, and Mack the dinosaur was wide awake, bouncing with excitement. Today was a big day. It was the very first day of kindergarten. "Time to get up," Mack called to his sisters, Minta and Lucretia, who were still hiding under their dino blankets. "I don't want to go," whispered Minta, her little claws clutching her stuffed stegosaurus. "What if it's scary?" Lucretia asked, peeking out with big, nervous eyes. Mack gave them both a big, toothy smile. "It's not scary. Kindergarten is fun. There are blocks and paint and snack time. And we'll make new friends." "But what if the teacher is mean?" Minta asked. "What if we don't know where to sit?" added Lucretia. Mack gently took their hands. "Don't worry, I'll be right there with you. We can do this together." So the three dinosaurs walked to school, backpacks bouncing and tails swaying. When they arrived, a big purple sign read, "Welcome to Dino Valley Kindergarten." Inside, the classroom was bright and colorful. There were books, toys, and even a sandbox. And at the front stood their teacher, a tall, kind dinosaur with sparkly glasses and a smile that reached from horn to horn. "Hello there," she said warmly. "I'm Miss Dino-Mite, and I'm so happy you're here." Minta and Lucretia clung to Mack's sides. Miss Dino-Mite knelt down. "It's okay to feel a little nervous. That means you care. But guess what? Today, we'll all be brave together." Mack stood up tall. "I'm not scared, and I'll help my sisters be brave too." Miss Dino-Mite nodded. "That's wonderful, Mack. Helping others is what real bravery looks like." During story time, Mack sat between his sisters and whispered silly dino jokes to make them giggle. During art time, he helped them squeeze out the paint. At snack time, he made sure everyone had enough dino crunchies and dino juice. By the end of the day, Minta and Lucretia were laughing and playing tag with new friends. As they walked home, Lucretia said, "That wasn't scary at all. And Miss Dino-Mite is the best teacher ever," Minta added. Mack grinned. "See? I told you kindergarten would be fun." From that day on, the three dinosaur siblings looked forward to every school day. Brave, happy, and always together. The end.